All right, good morning. Happy Thursday to everybody. A few things going on in the forecast. First, it's going to get hotter before it gets a little cooler. We'll be upper 90s, lower triple digits for Thursday and Friday, but as we go to the Labor Day weekend, still on track to get a pretty weak, but a front to move through here and cool us down a little bit and also boost some of our rain chances. All right, so let's start with the heat. Here are the high temperatures across the state today off the national model blend. I know this says 99 for Austin. I think it's more likely that we do hit the triple digits. I don't think we've done that since back on August 20th, but I do expect upper 90s, triple digits today. It will be all dry. And then Friday, likely even warmer because we'll be just ahead of this front that we're talking about. And ahead of the front, we get something called compressional warming, so that allows temperatures to spike. The model blend has Austin at about 100. I think it's more likely we're at like a 101 type number. Okay, so we'll get into the data here in a second, but real quick, here are the numbers. This is off the European model. So again, just one model run, but it's showing upper 90s, triple digits, at least into Friday. Now, Saturday is the tricky day, depending on when this front moves through. But either way, seeing pretty good consistency now that by Sunday, we have this slightly cooler air mass in place, upper 80s, low 90s, higher rain chances, that sort of thing. Okay, so with that, let's go into the models now. And this is our HRRR model, and we're going to look at several. We'll look at the NAM today too, since we've got this shallow cold air mass in this front coming through. So here's the latest extended HRRR. Today, I'm not really worried about rain. It's just the heat, but again, you can see some cooler stuff is trying to get closer to us. We keep going into Friday morning, and the front is up here to our north. Friday is the day where our temperatures will spike. So here's 4. The front getting closer to us. The front won't be through by Friday, but ahead of it, or along it, we'll get some showers and storms that will push an outflow boundary down into our area. So Friday afternoon into Friday evening, you can see the temperatures and you can see the imprint of where some rain is forming. So let's switch over here to the reflectivity. We'll go back to our extended run here. So through the first part of the day, Friday, dry. But then by the afternoon into the evening, here's 5, 6, 7. Again, are we expecting anything, super widespread? No, but the afternoon into the evening we'll have some hit or miss rain and storms around. So I've got about a 20% in the forecast for the second part of the day on Friday. We'll just have to kind of keep an eye to the sky for our high school football games. But I actually think it's a better rain chance both Saturday and Sunday compared to Friday. All right, so now into the NAM model, the king of cold fronts. This first is the high-res NAM, which is not going to take us through all of this, but it's got upper 90s, triple digits today. You can see the imprint of the front. Friday, we're still south of the front, so our temperatures making it into the triple digits. And then Friday night into Saturday, here we go into the battleground. So here's 7, I forgot to point out the time again. Here's 7 a.m. on Saturday. And this model will only take us through, this is the last frame, 1 p.m. And it's actually got the front basically kind of through our area. So it's 1 p.m., so the temperatures would heat up some more, but it's got Austin still in the upper 80s in the areas that are really hot, down like San Antonio down south and southwest. So Saturday, again, just full transparency, it's a tricky forecast. As of now, I would say for Austin, a 94, 95 number, but it's going to depend on the speed of that front. Here's the longer range NAM, and this is going to take us through the whole event. And even this model's been flip-flopping back and forth a little bit. All right, so here's Friday afternoon. We're ahead of the front, a lot of triple digits, compressional warming. Then Saturday, this new run of the NAM brings the front basically through early enough in the day on Saturday that we're already upper 80s, low 90s. Saturday afternoon, and the upper 90s triple digits are pushed down to the south. And then as we go into Sunday, Sunday would potentially be even cooler. This is the last frame. It's got mid-upper 80s in our forecast here in Central Texas. So before we move on to the rain part of this, just bottom line, it's an early season front. It is not going to be cold. you're not going to need the sweaters over the Labor Day weekend, all right? It's going to be late August, early September. But below average highs, upper 80s, low 90s, still looks like we are on track for that, especially by Sunday, potentially earlier than that on Saturday. Real quick, I'll just show you this. The NWS short range forecast, and you can see the frontal boundary that we'll be watching. So as we just move forward in time, here's a 12Z. So this is 7 a.m. Friday morning, Friday afternoon, and then into Saturday morning. This front is like basically stalled over us. Okay, so now let's start talking about rain. It's not going to be just a little cool down. I do think this front's going to boost our rain chances. It won't be raining constantly over the Labor Day weekend, but we will have rain around. So Friday, as we talked about in the evening, we'll have a chance for some hit or miss showers and storms. Saturday afternoon and evening, though, is going to have a better rain chance. So this is 7 p.m. Saturday. As we've been talking about all week, of course, we've got Texas A&M hosting UTSA, and in San Marcos, we've got Texas State hosting Eastern Michigan. This latest model run has actually backed off in the rain chance a little bit. The model that we use at the TV station, though, the graph, the in-house model, a lot of times it does pretty well with these things, and it's boosting the rain chance more so than this for Saturday. So I think we're probably looking at like a 40% plus type rain chance for Saturday afternoon into Saturday evening. So some rain around in the evening on Saturday. And then Sunday is likely to bring the best rain chance overall, especially through the first half of the day, as we have an upper level disturbance coming in from West Texas. So we'll go up to like a 50% rain chance on a Sunday. And then into Labor Day, also we could have some rain around. You can see where the moisture is just pulling up on this stalled frontal boundary. So those are the models. Let's go back to the graphics here and have a few outlooks. Here's the severe weather outlook for the rest of today, Thursday. Level 1 risk from Wichita Falls to just north of Dallas-Fort Worth to Paris to Longview to Texarkana. And then on Friday, little severe risk over the Texas Panhandle and another sliver of a low-end severe risk over far southeast Texas that includes Lufkin. But really, it's not the severe thing that's a big deal. If anything, it would be like low-end flood potential. So here's the flood outlook. The day 2 excessive rain for Friday and Friday night has a level 2 over parts of the Texas Panhandle and a level 1 that goes down to central Texas. And then here is the day 3, which goes through Saturday, and it has a level 2 expanding over West Texas and the Panhandle and getting closer to the hill country, and then a level 1 for all of central Texas. And then as the front pushes south, the flood risk expands south as we go into Monday. Let me make sure I got those right. So here's Saturday into Sunday. And then actually we skipped, I keep getting these wrong. We skipped day 4. All right, so here's day 2, day 3, day 5. But on Sunday, we're going to have some low-end risk for flooding too. Here are the numbers off the Weather Prediction Center, which have trended up a little bit, especially over the hill country. Again, don't take this to the bank as an exact amount of rain, but it kind of shows you by far the heavier totals are going to be over West Texas and the Texas Panhandle. But even for us, there is some risk for flooding over the Labor Day weekend. Again, I'm not expecting like major issues, but I do see some low-end flood potential. In the extended forecast, here's the 6 to 10 day precipitation outlook, September 2nd through September 6th, which is favoring above average precipitation for some of the areas that we just talked about. And then during that same period, the temperature outlook still is just reloading fall for areas to our north and northeast. And for us here in Central Texas, I think the idea kind of remains the same. We will remain just in that kind of battleground zone. The tropics, the Gulf and the Caribbean remain pretty much completely quiet. We have Fernand, which is post-tropical, and then we do have another area, just has a 20% chance of development, a new wave that just came off the African coast, and that will traverse through the main development region, but obviously nothing that's an immediate concern for us. All right, so a few more pieces of model data here, and I realized I did not pull the model blend, so I might have to grab that here in a second. Euro model, again, is keeping us hot through Saturday, then brings in the cooler air. GFS model, I think, is not handling this very well. Here, I'm going to take you real quick just to the webcam, and I'm going to pull the model blend numbers because I forgot to grab those, and that normally does a pretty good job of explaining things. But the bottom line, guys, again, is that we are going to be a little bit cooler as we go into the Labor Day weekend, and we are going to have some rain around. All right, so stand by as I get the model data pulled in here. All right, so here is the latest data off the national model blend. Again, guys, I do think triple digits, expand this to fill the screen. Triple digits for Thursday and Friday. And look, if we get lucky, it still can be very hot into late September, October. So I don't want to get ahead of myself and like guarantee this, but it's possible Friday could be our last triple digit day of 2025. Saturday's that transition day. Again, if I had to write down a number right now, I would say we probably still make it into the low to mid 90s. But then Sunday, Monday, upper 80s, low 90s. Rain chance Saturday, better rain chance Sunday, scattered hit or miss rain chance on a Monday on Labor Day. Then looking a little warmer around the middle of next week, but then the model blend says maybe we do this again as we go into next weekend and drop temperatures down into the 80s again. So we're getting into that time of the year where we don't have any big, strong cold fronts, but we have some cold fronts which are at least bringing like meager cool downs to our forecast. All right, that's all I have for you today. I appreciate everybody tuning in. We'll keep you updated. I'll have another weather video posted on the channel coming up tomorrow morning for Friday. Have a good day, and I will talk to you all later.